Hello, my name is Kirsten Vassell, and I will be presenting on a TCP versus UDP chat system. It's going to be a short presentation based off the project that I'm working on. So the goals and purpose of the project is to build a concurrent chat server. B is to build two versions of it, one for TCP, next one for UDP. Next, you have to allow for real-time communication with graceful handling, such as the disconnection and such. And I created a way to test and measure both computer network performance and compare them. Yes. And that will be shown in our graph format. The architecture and protocol design, as we know, TCP, connection oriented with per client routines. It is very reliable. It will be shown in the diagram in the graph. You lose less packets. It's very much so seen as a better or more reliable protocol than UDP, because UDP uses datagrams and it's prone to lose some packets. The custom protocol for command, this is a bit of my touch. You want the server to have a better personality so the user can interact with it and tells you what it wants to know at the time to echo back to quit. Just some examples, highlights, and design choices. You have to use Go routines for the concurrency, the mutex for the safe access to the concurrent. I created some log files as well that saves, given the name of the IP of the client, and saves the messages of what the client typed in the chat, messages and personality replies. Yeah. And I created a timeout feature. Though for some reason the timeout feature for the UDP causes the server to just automatically shut down. So I removed that and I instead added just a way for whenever the clients would log on to the server, when the client would run, the client would be prompted to add their name. Although it doesn't go to the other client server, the other client server still gets the IP address. It is good for the client to at least know that the name's there, I would say. Performance comparisons, as you can see, latency. TCP has much more latency than UDP because TCP takes a longer time to send the information across, because it has to go through so much protocols, so much error correction, checking, resending. I want to send as much of the correct data as possible, while UDP doesn't. TCP throughput, again, it sends more data across, while UDP always loses data. So it's better for videos and pictures, while TCP is better for files, emails, stuff like that. And chat is considered, I would say, under the email bracket. So it's important for all the information to be transferred across. While TCP transfer less information because it loses some of them sometimes. As you can see, the packet loss, information loss, typically on the UDP side. Challenges and insights. The UDP was much more harder to work with, I guess, because I have more experience with using the TCP protocol format. So it's easier to work with. And I already had many previous examples, such as projects and assessments before, that I could use to um, use for inspiration and similarity in code, while UDP I didn't really have the same comfort with. The main problem I have with UDP is the connection. For some reason, the connection doesn't want to work, and also the timeout doesn't want to work. That took a long time to figure out. To ensure timer disconnect detection. So if when I get disconnected, the other client would know logging and timeout and coordinating concurrent client and access. Now, in summary, TCP you just better server for this, just because it's more reliable, it loses less packets. Granted, though, this is very small in the scale of clients I would use. UDP is a lightweight. It may drop messages, especially if it's a lot of messages coming out once. Well, TCP will kind of ensure that those messages get from its origin to its destination. So I recommend TCP for the real-time messaging app. Although I would like to further enhance the server, I would like, for example, it to change the IP name to the name that is given, like what I did for the UDP. I did it partially by prompting the client to ask for the name, but it would be nice if the other client can see the name that they decided to put on as well. I think that would be an amazing additional touch that I would want to add. And if you have any questions for me, any feedback to give, that would be much appreciated. Thank you for listening to my presentation based off of my project.